Working in security is an interesting level of responsibility. You're going to be told throughout your career that you're not a cop, and even though you're not in law enforcement, you do have access to all of the same tools and a lot of the same responsibility. With this responsibility comes the understanding of the need for things like compassion, respect, restraint, and the preservation of dignity, right? When you're working with people who are drug addicted or homeless or in a bad situation, you're having to enforce your policies. 21st century policing advocates that you understand that you keep all of those things intact. What is compassion? Specifically for me, a lot of the things that we deal with at some of the locations that I work are people needing to charge their phone, or people needing a trash bag for some of their belongings, or people, panhandling, all the things that comes along with working specifically with that demographic of homeless people. Being compassionate is understanding their situation, being able to empathize with them and what they're going through. Someone coming in and needing to loiter for 30 minutes because they're living outside in the cold or the rain. Having your policies and having to enforce those policies is number one your job, but you have to also temper that with a level of compassion, understanding when to let certain things slide, when to be more understanding of people's situations, and not be so hard-pressed to stick directly to the rules in the book that you take away someone's dignity. This also comes into play when you're dealing with hands-on situations or having to actually become physical with someone. You should never put yourself in a situation, or allow yourself rather, to let your personal feelings or your feelings of personal slight from someone play into how you deal with them. If you have to go hands-on, if you have to utilize any sort of force, you want to utilize the least amount of force necessary to end the situation. That means if a situation can be de-escalated verbally, you do that. You don't escalate to using pepper spray. If you have to use pepper spray, use the pepper spray over the baton. If you can utilize the baton without having to utilize a taser, you do that. And you utilize a taser before going to your firearm. It's understanding the importance of restraint in dealing with the public. And that's dealing with the public from the lowest common denominator to the highest level of common denominator. Having a good balance and understanding of this concept and how you apply that to the people that you deal with is you adhering to 21st century policing. Now you have to remember, to a large degree, this is not how things were done. These things weren't talked about. These ideals weren't gone over. This wasn't something that was advocated for in law enforcement, and to a degree in security. That time has changed, and I think that that's a good thing. So understanding the need for compassion, restraint, for the preservation of dignity, but then also understanding the importance of having all of that at the forefront of your mind while still being able to produce justice. And that's the nuance of this, understanding all of these things that are laid out in 21st century policing, but still understanding the need for enforcement and being able to produce justice in situations that you're involved in.